Okay, and again, another lightning round question. Talking about solutions, and Representative Taylor pointed out a minute ago, he's filed legislation this past year. He filed House Bill 1379. 1379 is still alive in the House. And basically, House Bill 1379 says if you break it, you pay for it. Would you be in support of that legislation and helping moving that forward this next year? And we'll start with the floor leader.
Well, yeah, I haven't read House Bill 1379. That was a nice move, by the way. But the answer, my overall answer is yes. I mean, I've said this over and over again, too. I've said this, by the way, to forums with the other oil and gas industry. The answer to this issue is a process by which it's a case-by-case process where you get to prove your damages in a simple and easy to do way, and the other side has to pay them if you prove damages. So if that's what 1379 does, then yes. I mean, I think that's how this thing has to end. There's no other way to make this happen, and that to me makes all the sense in the world. And if it makes it out of I guess the real question for me that everybody wants the commitment for is, will I put it on the floor? And the answer is yes. If that makes it out of the Energy Committee, I'll put it on the floor. And then, yeah. Well, then we'll put it on the floor. Oh, I don't mind.
Well, I would hope my answer would be yes, since it has my name on it. I think that there are some adjustments that we need to make now that we've got it out of committee before we put it on the floor. But yes, I think that it is a common sense piece of legislation.
Can you share
Okay, Greg says he wants me to share a little bit about it. I mean, it basically says that if you have caused the damage, then you're responsible for the damage. I mean, it's really just as simple as that. Currently, it has a lot of lawyer speak in it. I think that we need to pull a little bit of that out and simplify it a little bit more. But at its core, it just says that if you cause the damage to another well, whether that be another vertical well or another horizontal well, you are responsible to pay for that damage.
All right. I think I will say yes, but I want to just, again, to speak to people who are outside of the building. Yes, if it's going to pass. And I think that that's the biggest thing here. And one of the things that I've learned in my 3 years is the last thing you want to do is to take a good idea and let it fail because you didn't have it right. And so when Zach says we need to fix the bill a little bit, let's make sure we've got it right. Because if we take it to a vote and it dies, yes, it can come back, but it is significantly harder to pass a piece of legislation that has the stink of death tied to it already. And so we need to make sure we know we've got the votes. We know what's going to happen. We're ready. But yes, if we're ready, I'm ready.
The stink of death.
I will support the bill. I think if your property is taken or your ability to extract your property from the ground has been compromised, then you need to be compensated for that. So if the House sends us a good clean bill and we can get it through our Energy Committee, I will support it.